Hi everyone, happy Sunday and welcome to our Seer Sunday reading. For those who don't know me, my name is Deanna and I'm an intuitive card reader, psychic, channeler, and seer. And we do this Seer Sunday reading every single week to get us a look at the energy that will meet us in the week ahead and get spirit's guidance and advice for how we can use it to our greatest advantage and how we can flow with it with ease and grace. So with that said, let's get into it. As always, starting with our pre-shuffle energy. The cards were super active today. Oh my gosh, see? Told you. And what I really felt this week is that we were getting bombarded with a lot of information. So I felt like if there's something you feel like has been a missing piece to something and you needed that information to move forward, I feel like you're getting it this week. I feel like there's a lot of I'm hearing just truth coming towards you from every angle. Like it felt like it was just oh, there's this new opportunity and now there's this information and now you're working with that information and now this change is coming in. And it did feel a little bit like, trying to get our footing in all of this new information a little bit. It was kind of like looking around like, wait a minute, wait, what? Like just feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all the information we were getting. But I will say it felt overall positive. It just felt like we were kind of, again, trying to get our bearings and they're showing me like filing cabinets. Like we're going to try and process and make sense of all of this new information that we're receiving this week. And they're showing us like categorizing it and putting it into files. So it's about us just organizing our thoughts and organizing, I'm hearing our vibration this week based on this new information, because they're saying this new information may change our perspective on something that's kind of held, I'm hearing a belief that we have for some time now. So it's maybe a belief about, I'm hearing about how partnerships work or how they come into existence or what we have to do to be deserving of them. Or I'm hearing of what we're capable of, or someone may, I feel like this is probably for someone specific, but I'm feeling like there's like maybe a parent that's going to come forward with some information about something. Like there may be I feel like this could be like a traumatic event from childhood that maybe you're getting the other, as a child, it was like, how could you? But then when you hear the adult perspective or the parental perspective, you're kind of like, again, they're saying doesn't excuse, but it will bring compassion so that you're able to understand how something happened. So I really feel like it's something like that going on this week, where again, we're getting a lot of information and some we may have been waiting on for some time, but I feel like it's going to help us heal once we understand where we put all of this information, how it applies to us. And they're showing me sockets getting plugged into like electrical outlets. It's like we just have to plug the right things into the right places, but it's going to take us a minute to be like, okay, wait, because again, it's like they're showing me a stack of paper like this and being like going one by one. Okay, like that's in, I don't know, like that's in that file and that's in that file and that's in okay, like it's like going through and like again processing and reorienting ourselves around this new information we received this week. So let's see what we've got. Ooh, we've got the buffalo and the stingray. I really like this. This tells me we have earth and water here, which tells me there's a grounded emotional state this week. It did feel like we may feel a little overwhelmed with some of the information, but it feels like we were really able to kind of just set into that, okay, let me figure out what to do with this pretty quickly. So I will say it doesn't feel like an overwhelming week, especially with the buffalo being here. This is an incredibly high vibration earth card, which means very grounded. The buffalo is all about trusting that you will be provided for spiritually and that everything's happening in divine timing. The buffalo just wanders these plains and knows that it's not afraid of the thunderstorms because it knows it can weather it. It's very strong and sturdy and self-reliant in a way that says, I trust that all of my needs will be met. And it's very spiritually connected. So I do feel like we'll be getting a lot of guidance this week that helps us to, again, understand how to process that information. But I'm hearing there's something about alignment here, like where I feel like we're finding deeper alignment this week. And it may specifically come around. So it was funny, they're saying alignment, look at the chakras here. But the stingray is all about it's about boundaries and it's about growing this backbone, right? It's about having this independent self that can say, no, you're not going to push me over. Okay. This is that, again, setting those boundaries, okay, around this is okay with me. This isn't okay with me. And I feel like with some of the new information we're getting, we may feel, I'm hearing there's maybe a rise in confidence with some of the new information that we're getting that allows us to feel like we can hold our ground a little easier. And I will say to have this one that represents having that kind of growing that spine, that personal spine with the buffalo, we are very much in our power this week. Okay. So I want to say like the buffalo, no one's going to like come and push the buffalo over, right? So very much, I feel like it's almost like a transformation from maybe like the weaker aspects of the stingray where maybe we're a little too flexible. We were a little too, not strong enough in our own spine, not aligned. So we were easily knocked over. This week, I feel like this new information we're getting is helping us to align everything so that we can stand tall in this buffalo energy that says, I do things my way. You can't push me over. I'm hearing you can't manipulate or coerce me. So I'm hearing emotional manipulation tactics. So if you're someone who's struggled with that, and I really feel like it's family dynamics, but I would also say there's romantic relationships that definitely employ those strategies. If that's something you really struggle with, then I would definitely say this week you're kind of getting that information you need to say like, that's where I draw my line, okay? And then we've got mirror, mirror. So it's definitely a time for us to be reflecting. One thing I always really like about this card is that like you can see where there's almost like shadow and light aspects, and just dark and light energy or shadow and light. It's really about truth and untruth, right? So this is about really sitting with what's true for me, because when we stand in our truth, alignment means being in truth within ourselves, right? That's what so it means where the choices we make come from our truth. The way that we feel safe and secure comes from our truth of I am safe and secure, right? Which is what balances out that root chakra, which so it's all of those. They're saying it's balancing out the self narratives to align with your truth. And this mirror aspect, and I feel like they're saying there's something about planetary transits, and we're definitely in Mercury retrograde come the 27th. And Mercury retrograde is all about allowing us to go back and revisit things that we need to revisit in order to move forward, right? That's why Mercury retrograde can be so challenging, is because it's like almost like a rewind button. They're referencing the movie Click, which I actually haven't really seen, but I just know the concept is he has a remote that can just like rewind things back a bit and then play them out. It's very much like that. And they're saying there may even be a little bit of a slow motion play out. Like you almost may feel like you're reliving something this week a little bit. But again, it's so that you can realize, I'm hearing how much you've changed, how much stronger you are than the last time you went through this. And also how much more aligned you are. I feel like the difference of alignment is really going to be noticeable and like tangible this week, okay? And we're just getting an opportunity to reflect on it in a way that allows us, I'm hearing, to create sustainable change. But also like, I feel like, it's funny, it's almost like we already had, it's like, how do I put that? It's like we already had all of this strength within us, but maybe we don't see it because, we grow so, like, to us, it seems like we just grow like a little bit here and there, but really it's like over time we've grown so much, but we tend to not see it. So I really feel like however everything goes this week, there's definitely an element of taking in our progress and reflecting on where we were, where we are, and what we're capable of now that we weren't before. And I'm hearing something about resolving fear by understanding, like, so for instance, they're like, if you're afraid that you would repeat similar cycles in relationships and so you're not getting into relationships, this is the week where we get to prove to ourselves, no, I would see right through the stuff that got me before. So I don't need to be afraid of it because I've grown, I've seen through it, I understand it, right? So we can resolve fear when we learn, I've learned, I've grown, I'm ready to try again, right? Because you won't do the same thing you did before. So I just want to say, holy cow, guys. So we've got the sun and death here, but we're going to go one by one. But death, this is definitely the end of a cycle. Death is the end of something to allow a new beginning. And with the sun here, it's the death of whatever has been holding you back from your happiness, okay? And again, if this is not trusting, or if this is not having a spine or a backbone, not standing up for yourself, not having that space to reflect, not being able to say, this is true for me, this is what I want, right? Because I'm also hearing, in order to have what we want, we have to be clear on what we want. And that also requires this trust in ourselves and in our spine to say, this is what I want, right? Because a lot of times what we want is something that society's kind of conditioned us to say, maybe have a plan B, right? Don't put all your eggs in that basket. That's going to be hard. I don't know. You think that's well suited to you, right? That's how society narrates our story. But as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, we took that pen back and we said, I'm narrating my story now, right? We kicked everybody out of the writing room. Now that's that spine that says, this is what I want. right? So we're able to end these cycles because, again, it's really hard to end a cycle if you're not in your power, right? If we're not standing in this power to say, I'm done with that cycle, you're probably not going to feel strong enough to do it. But this week we do. So we are ending a cycle that I'm hearing desperately needed to end in order for us to move forward. And right now they're showing me like a hand around a throat. So this is something that has felt suffocating, okay? So whatever it is that you feel that you couldn't escape from, right? And I really feel like, it's like healing. Like if you're like, oh my God, I'm always going to be living in, like they're just saying like, maybe we've been through years of therapy, right? And like, you're like, I feel like I'm just always going to be living my childhood trauma all the time. This is where we might say that suffocating aspect of like, I can't escape from this. I'm seeing like loosening of the grip here that leads to our ability to be carefree, happy, and to allow, I'm hearing us allow ourselves to receive what we're wanting, right? Because when we end these old cycles that say, I can't, I'm not enough, I shouldn't, that's when we go, I am, I can, and I will, right? And that's where we're in receiving mode to everything that we're asking for, and we're able to step into that divine creator space that's gonna bring us so much joy. And then we've got the Knight of Cups. So this is going to feel like a brand new opportunity, especially emotionally, okay? Whatever this is for you this week, this is about, if you look, he's sitting contented, but nights are about adventure and conquest and experience and getting in there and doing it and living. I kind of view them as like living to the fullest. And I really feel like this night, like this is going to be something where you feel the excitement of the emotional potential of something, okay? And again, it's something, or it could be an actual opportunity like work that comes in that makes you really excited because of that excitement, that joy, that love for what you're doing is very much a Cups energy because it's about your emotional state. It's about what sings to your heart, right? So when we're in this Knight of Cups energy, especially around the sun, we're going, oh my God, I can have this. I can play and explore and I can have adventure in my life. And whatever that adventure is for you, if that's starting your own business because you really believe in it, that's your adventure that feeds your soul, right? If this is, okay, I'm gonna put myself back out there because I believe love is there, you may be excited by the potential of these new relationships that await you, right? Whatever this is for you, it's really positive this week because again, we're using that reflection time to mirror, to do that reflection work on what cycle is ending, what we're wanting, and how far we've come, and what is truly aligned for us. This is actually super powerful, guys, and I'm really excited about this week's energy. It's definitely, it feels very much like I'm moving forward, and they're referencing the gateway that they referenced last week for me. With the fish, like, and there being like a gateway into a new world, I feel like we're kind of stepping into the new world that maybe we saw the potential of. And one thing they wanted me to bring up is I kind of realized during my week that in some ways the new world I was getting a peek into would be my future if I didn't align, right? So I was seeing kind of both worlds play out, and I just wanted to mention it in case it resonates for anyone else. Like I was seeing where like if I kept on this path, that would be what I was headed towards, but it was like stressful and that's not what I wanted. So I was like, okay, but how do I readjust now? And then I got a peek at what I will have. So it's kind of like, I think we're just getting, last week was kind of a see what your options are. And this week it's a, I'm ending this one and moving towards that one is very much what I feel here, okay? And then we've got little by little. So I will say, as far as the sun and this like, whoa, ultimate happiness, right? They're saying life is life and nothing's ever going to be in absolute perfect order all the time, right? But they're saying little by little, this isn't going to be like a total death and a rebirth all in one week, but they're saying this is where it begins for us. Again, the night goes on quests. It takes time, right? They go on adventures. And so it's not all going to happen overnight, but it will happen little by little. And then we've got give it the time it needs. So again, this is very much about patience. And during my pre-shuffle, Temperance did come out of the tarot deck. So I definitely feel like they're saying be gentle, but understand this is the start of a major new cycle for us that's going to bring a lot of love, abundance, happiness, clarity, connection, emotional fulfillment. And again, this undying faith and trust in ourselves and in the universe that will literally guide you through anything. So I'm adding a new deck this week. This is Esteem Affirmations by Rebecca. She does sell them at Spiral Circle if anyone is interested. We're currently out of stock because they were so popular, but I'm sure she'll be bringing some back. But I thought maybe we could get an affirmation that wants to follow us this week that we can call on when the week starts to feel, a little big, or when we feel like we need to be reminded of what this week's all about. And it says, I accept myself just the way I am. So in this mirror card, there may be some things that are hard to see, and we're just being reminded to come back to this affirmation of I accept myself I accept myself just the way I am. So we're going to lean into that affirmation this week. So I'm going to put that up here. But that is our Seer Sunday reading, everybody. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.